Buckingham Palace is sharing an update on King Charles III's cancer treatments. Seen in public for the first time since news of a new title for Camilla, Queen Camilla bids farewell to Buckingham Palace after explosive letters from King Charles come to light. These letters, revealing his deep interest in Greek Orthodox traditions and clashes with modern Christianity, have sent ripples through royal corridors. And now, as tensions rise between Camilla and William, the monarchy's future hangs in the balance. Tune in as the royal family faces a storm no one saw coming: Camilla, Catherine, and the struggle for harmony. Let's talk about a letter that's got people buzzing, one written by Charles back when he was still the Prince of Wales. During his coronation at Westminster Abbey, Charles made a big promise to uphold the Protestant Reformed faith. That's part of the job when you're named Defender of the Faith. But here's where it gets interesting. A letter from the year 1998 just popped up, and it's giving a whole new angle. The letter, sent to his buddy Dudley Pooke, shines a light on something unexpected. Charles seemed really into Greek Orthodox traditions. Some folks think this curiosity came from his dad, Prince Philip, whose roots tied back to that faith. And it's not just a casual mention either. Charles used the chance to take a swipe at what he thought was political correctness creeping into other Christian groups. This letter reveals a glimpse into a potential spiritual crossroads that could redefine his legacy. Charles has always been vocal about the importance of faith, but this letter complicates the narrative. Decades ago, he stirred controversy by suggesting a tweak to his royal title, moving from Defender of the Faith to Defender of Faith, signaling inclusivity for the United Kingdom's many religions. Fast forward to his coronation, and this open-minded stance was on display as leaders from multiple faiths, including Jewish, Hindu, Muslim, and Sikh communities, were in attendance. Adding to the mix, Charles's past letters also reveal concerns about scientific meddling. In 1998, he described genetic modification research as a path to a Frankenstein future. He didn't hold back, pointing fingers at American corporations like Monsanto, which he felt prioritized profit over wisdom. His strong views weren't just about science, but tied back to his religious beliefs, where he argued that genetic engineering crossed into divine territory. The late Dudley Pooke, a close confidant, was at the center of these revelations, but his passing in 2005 saw his collection of royal letters go under the hammer. The auction opened a treasure trove of insights into the royal mindset, giving the public a peek behind the gilded curtain. Meanwhile, Prince William is stepping into the spotlight, perhaps earlier than expected. At 42, he's gearing up for a test run of sorts as a future king. With King Charles cutting back on public duties due to health concerns, William is stepping into the gap, handling more royal responsibilities while balancing family life. His new role isn't just ceremonial, it's setting the stage for a modernized monarchy. Unlike learning to be a plumber or beautician, both of which come with clear training, preparing for kingship is more of an on-the-job experience, and William is handling it with determination. His wife, Princess Catherine, plays a pivotal role too. Recently, her health struggles, including a battle with cancer, have drawn public sympathy, but Queen Camilla's alleged insistence that Catherine return to public duties has sparked tension within the family. William, fiercely protective of his wife, has reportedly made it clear that no one will pressure her into the spotlight before she's ready. This protective stance has caused friction between William and Camilla, highlighting deeper rifts within the royal household. Camilla's position within the family seems to be on shaky ground. Reports suggest she feels sidelined as William and Catherine's star continues to rise. This perceived snub has even extended to her own family, with fewer of her relatives taking on royal responsibilities. The shift in dynamics has reportedly left Camilla feeling isolated, prompting her to seek support to navigate the strained relationships. King Charles finds himself in the middle of this family drama, juggling his loyalty to his wife with his support for William's vision of a modernized monarchy. The tension between Camilla and William has put Charles in a tight spot, forcing him to play peacemaker while maintaining balance within the family. This balancing act hasn't been easy and has reportedly taken a toll on his own relationship with Camilla. While Camilla wrestles with feelings of being overshadowed, William's focus remains firmly on the future. He's charting a course for a slimmed-down monarchy, emphasizing transparency, financial accountability, and public service. This forward-thinking approach includes delegating more responsibilities to younger members of the family, like Princess Beatrice and her husband, Edoardo Mozzi. Beatrice, despite not being a full-time working royal, has been stepping up, taking on tasks that once fell to Prince Harry. Beatrice's growing role marks a significant shift. Known for balancing royal duties with her career and family life, she's proving to be a valuable asset to the monarchy. From participating in charity work to standing in for senior royals at key events, she's slowly carving out her place within the royal fold. Her increasing involvement comes at a time when the monarchy is under intense scrutiny, with critics questioning its relevance and cost in a modern world. In the background, Princess Anne, often hailed as the hardest-working royal, continues to shoulder a significant portion of royal duties. Her dedication and no-nonsense approach make her a cornerstone of the institution, particularly as the monarchy navigates this period of transition. Similarly, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, Prince Edward and Sophie, are stepping up, further highlighting the collective effort to keep the monarchy running smoothly. Amid these challenges, King Charles's decision left everyone wondering what would come next. The story now turns to the future of the monarchy, passing the crown after decades of preparation and a long wait to take on the British crown. King Charles left the world reeling with an announcement no one saw coming: he was stepping down. This unexpected move, filled with questions and speculations, challenged the very fabric of the monarchy. Was it personal? Was the role too overwhelming? Or were deeper currents at play? The monarch officially ascended to the throne on the 8th of September in the year 2022, following the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II. He broke records before even taking his seat. He had been the longest heir apparent, waiting over 7 decades, surpassing Edward II's record of 59 years in the year 2011. When he finally became king at the age of 73, he became the oldest monarch to ascend the British throne, taking over from William IV, who had ascended at 64 in the year 1830. On the 10th of September in the year 2022, he was formally proclaimed king in a historic ceremony televised for the first time, marking the start of a reign many expected to reflect a lifetime of preparation. The coronation itself, held on the 6th of May in the year 2023 at Westminster Abbey, followed traditional practices but aimed to represent a more diverse and modern Britain. The event was streamlined, reflecting the ruler's vision of a monarchy in tune with the times. From including representatives of various faiths to adhering to the traditional anointment and enthronement rituals, it was an intricate balance of old and new. Yet even amidst the grandeur, whispers of change began circulating. The weight of tradition seemed at odds with the sovereign's progressive aspirations. Throughout his life, the king carried an array of titles and responsibilities across the Commonwealth, each unique in name and expectation. Whether King of Australia, King of St. Lucia, or even the Lord of Man in the Isle of Man, his roles emphasized his vast sphere of influence. The title, Defender of the Faith, highlighted his position as the Supreme Governor of the Church of England, a responsibility intertwined with centuries of tradition. Speculation abounded when he took the throne: would he kept his name as Charles III or adopted a regnal name? Sticking with Charles III made it clear that he intended to stay rooted in continuity while moving forward. Yet, the pressure of his duties was unrelenting: constant public engagements, philanthropy, and the sheer symbolic weight of the crown likely took a toll. His every move was scrutinized, whether it was his efforts in environmental advocacy, architecture, or public service. Despite his commitment, the monarch had long lived under the shadow of Queen Elizabeth II, whose 7-decade reign left a legacy of unmatched dedication. Comparisons were inevitable, and the strain to meet such towering expectations must have weighed heavily on him. Adding to this were personal trials: his turbulent marriage to Diana, Princess of Wales, followed by their divorce and her untimely death, significantly shaped his public image. Even his relationships with his sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, became fodder for public discourse, especially amidst family tensions. These factors, combined with the unyielding demands of his role, painted a picture of a king stretched thin between personal and public obligations. When the sovereign announced his resignation, the world stopped. The sight of a reigning monarch willingly stepping aside was unprecedented, sparking a flurry of questions. Was this a strategic move for the monarchy's future or a personal decision to prioritize health and well-being? Many speculated that the crown had become too heavy a burden to bear. The institution, deeply rooted in tradition, now faced an unfamiliar reality, a monarch stepping away not due to death or abdication scandals, but seemingly by choice. The public's reaction was mixed. For some, this moment felt like betrayal. To step down from the throne was seen as undermining centuries of tradition and continuity. To others, it was a brave act of self-awareness, signaling a willingness to adapt in a rapidly changing world. Supporters argued that the resignation could be a fresh start for the monarchy, paving the way for younger leadership more in tune with modern society's needs. Globally, the news sent shockwaves. Leaders and monarchies worldwide reacted with a mix of admiration, apprehension, and concern. For traditional monarchies, this move was nearly unthinkable, raising fears about the stability of royal institutions. In contrast, others saw it as an opportunity to re-evaluate and modernize an age-old system. The burden now fell to Prince William. The unexpected acceleration of his ascent brought its own challenges, balancing his public duties, family responsibilities, and the overwhelming expectations of leading a monarchy at a crossroads. William faced immense pressure. His reputation as a progressive, relatable royal with a focus on mental health, environmental sustainability, and community engagement offered hope. But could he bridge the divide between tradition and modernization? Internally, the royal family had its share of struggles. For Prince Harry, already distanced from royal duties, his father's resignation likely brought conflicting emotions. The unity and cohesion of the family came into question. Would they rally around William's leadership, or would existing tensions deepen? The former king's health had also been a growing concern. In the year 2024, news broke of his surgery for benign prostate enlargement and subsequent cancer diagnosis, though not prostate-related. His recovery required a reduced workload, with Queen Camilla often stepping in for public engagements. His demanding lifestyle, from late-night work hours to limited nutrition, added to the strain. These factors may have influenced his decision to step down, prioritizing his health and legacy over continuing to shoulder the crown's weight. As the dust settled, the resignation marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter for the monarchy. Questions about its relevance and sustainability grew louder. The House of Windsor's history is one of survival and change. The next part looks back at how it all began. 1,000 years of royalty. The British royal family has been around for more than 1,000 years, going through a lot of changes and big historical moments. These days, they are called the House of Windsor. This name came about in 1917 when King George V decided to change it. Back then, during World War I, people did not like the German-sounding name House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, so George made the switch. King George V and Queen Mary had 6 kids. Their names were Edward, Albert, Mary, Henry, George, and John. Edward took over the throne in 1936 but gave it up that same year. Why? Because he wanted to marry Wallis Simpson, who was an American divorcee. This caused a big fuss in the government. His brother Albert became King George VI instead. George VI was married to Queen Elizabeth, who later got the title of Queen Mother. They had 2 daughters, Elizabeth and Margaret. Elizabeth became Queen Elizabeth II in 1952 after her dad passed away. Her time as queen lasted for 70 years, making her the longest reigning monarch in British history. She married Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, in 1947. They had 4 kids, Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward. Charles, born in 1948, became the Prince of Wales. He got married to Lady Diana Spencer in 1981, and they had 2 sons, William and Harry. Things did not work out between Charles and Diana, and they divorced in 1996. Sadly, Diana passed away in a car accident in 1997. Charles later married Camilla Parker Bowles in 2005. William, born in 1982, is next in line to become king. He married Catherine Middleton in 2011. They have 3 kids, George, born in 2013, Charlotte, born in 2015, and Louis, born in 2018. George is 3rd in line for the throne after his dad. Harry, born in 1984, married Meghan Markle in 2018. They have 2 kids, Archie, born in 2019, and Lilibet, born in 2021. In 2020, Harry and Meghan decided to step back from their royal duties and move to the United States. Anne, born in 1950, is the second child and only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II. She married Captain Mark Phillips in 1973, and they had two kids, Peter and Zara. Anne and Mark's marriage ended in 1992, and she later married Sir Timothy Lawrence. Peter Phillips, born in 1977, married Autumn Kelly in 2008. They have two daughters, Savannah and Isla. Zara, born in 1981, married Mike Tyndall in 2011. They have three kids, Mia, Lena, and Lucas. Andrew, born in 1960, is the third child of Queen Elizabeth II. He married Sarah Ferguson in 1986, and they had two daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie. Andrew and Sarah's marriage ended in 1996. Beatrice, born in 1988, married Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi in 2020. They have a daughter, Sienna, born in 2021. Eugenie, born in 1990, married Jack Brooksbank in 2018. They have a son, August, born in 2021. Edward, born in 1964, is the youngest child of Queen Elizabeth II. He married Sophie Rhys-Jones in 1999. They have two kids, Louise, born in 2003, and James, born in 2007. The British royal family's history goes much further back than Queen Elizabeth II. Before the House of Windsor, there were other houses like the Tudors, the Stuarts, and the Hanoverians. Each house had its own stories and important figures. For example, the Tudors included King Henry VIII, who was famous for having 6 wives and breaking away from the Catholic Church to form the Church of England. The Stuarts saw the English Civil War and the brief period when England became a republic under Oliver Cromwell. Later, the Hanoverians ruled during the Georgian era, which included the time of the American Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars. The royal family's connection to the British Empire is another important part of their history. During the height of the empire in the 19th and early 20th centuries, monarchs like Queen Victoria were seen as symbols of British power and influence. Queen Victoria herself was called the Grandmother of Europe because many of her children and grandchildren married into other royal families across the continent. This created a web of alliances and relationships that shaped European history. Queen Victoria and Prince Albert had 9 children, and their descendants include many current and former monarchs in Europe. For instance, Victoria's oldest daughter, also named Victoria, became the Empress of Germany. Another of her children, Alice, was the mother of Alexandra, the last Empress of Russia. These connections highlight how the British royal family has often been part of a larger European royal network. Family is not just about history, though. They play roles in charity work, public service, and representing the United Kingdom on the world stage. Queen Elizabeth II was known for her dedication to duty and her ability to adapt to changing times. Her annual Christmas speeches often reflected on the challenges and achievements of the year, offering a sense of continuity and stability. The younger generation of royals has also taken on significant roles. William and Catherine, the Prince and Princess of Wales, are involved in initiatives related to mental health, conservation, and early childhood development. Harry and Meghan have focused on issues like racial equality, environmental sustainability, and mental health awareness. Even Princess Anne, often considered one of the hardest working royals, has been deeply involved in organizations like Save the Children. The royal family's residences are another fascinating aspect of their lives. Buckingham Palace in London is the official residence of the monarch and a symbol of the British monarchy. Windsor Castle, located just outside London, is one of the oldest and largest inhabited castles in the world. The family also spends time at Balmoral Castle in Scotland, which was a favourite retreat of Queen Elizabeth II. Sandringham House in Norfolk is another private residence where the royal family traditionally spends Christmas. The royal family's traditions and ceremonies are deeply rooted in history. The coronation of a new monarch is a grand event held at Westminster Abbey, featuring rituals that date back centuries. The state opening of Parliament is another significant occasion where the monarch delivers a speech outlining the government's plans for the year. Trooping the Colour, an annual military parade, marks the official birthday of the monarch and is a highlight of the royal calendar. The British royal family has also faced challenges and controversies over the years. From Edward VIII's abdication to the breakdown of royal marriages, these moments have tested the institution's ability to adapt and endure. In recent years, questions about the monarchy's relevance and role in modern society have sparked debates about its future. However, the royal family continues to be a central part of British culture and identity, attracting interest and attention from people around the world. Looking at the line of succession, it is clear how the family's history and legacy are carried forward. First in line is Prince William, followed by his children George, Charlotte, and Louis. Then comes Prince Harry and his children, Archie and Lilibet. Beyond them, the line continues with Prince Andrew, his daughters Beatrice and Eugenie, and their children. Prince Edward and his children, Louise and James, are next, followed by Anne, the Princess Royal, and her descendants, including Peter and Zara Phillips and their families. Is the royal line of succession still relevant in a modern democracy?